Hey, everybody.
Okay.
As you know, Dave and I recently asked our clients and past clients if there was one thing we could talk about that would be life changing for them or business, affect their business in a positive way. What would it be? And another one of the things that rose to the top was what is manifest? What does it mean? What is manifesting and how do you do it? So, we're going to talk about that today.
Welcome to another session of Inside Outlooks. I'm Dave Gorham, a mindset coach with a passion to make you show up as a superhero.
And I'm Matthey Walley, a mindset coach with a passion for being just a little bit cooler than Dave. Join us as we take a look inside so we can change the world around us.
And away we go.
What does it mean to manifest? What does it mean to you?
Yeah. So what the fuck is manifesting? If we bring it down to a basic level, it's goal setting. Right? We tend to think about goals as something tangible. Well, they're not really. It's an imagination, right? You're activating your imagination, but what you're doing there is you have a real good idea of what you want, because let's just use business as an example. You know what business you're in, you know what you need. Sales activities and productivity is another great example. You know what's going to take your commission level or income higher is more sales. So you put on paper some goals, right? Quota, however you want to parse it out from a language standpoint, but you're manifesting something into your life just by starting a goal setting. I mean, that's what comes to my mind, especially in the question, right? So we talk a lot about it with our clients in a way that it's magic, right? And you could go there in the conversation. I'm not sure, speaking for myself, I'm not sure if I believe it as magic. I believe it as abundant possibility. So it takes a little bit of the magic out of it. And for the listeners and a lot of clients that we coach, and I know where this question came from, they want to get into the more undefinable aspect of manifesting something into your life. But it starts with goal setting.
Okay, so let's say I set goals. Let's say I write down on a piece of paper, here's my 3 goals for the year, and then I put it in a drawer and walk away, and then I'll look at it again. Is that do much for me?
That's what you've described by writing it down and putting it in a drawer is the first step, right? Decide what you want. So that's goal setting. You've got to sit down and decide what you want. I would then say, so your question was, is that good enough? Well, it is the step. So it is good, but it doesn't follow through, right? We talk a lot about following through in life. Sports is a great example. If there's no follow through, you're not getting the full impact. So the full impact is there's more to that. So goal setting, right? Decide what you want. The next step is, what's it really mean? Or in a sense, I guess what I'm saying is like define it, like visually define it. You could describe it on paper underneath the goal setting, but visually define it. So visualize achieving what that goal is.
So the principle that I'm thinking of from what you and I coach from is it's not so, yes, it's what you focus on grows, right? That's part of it. But the other thing is that it's human nature that we seek out evidence of what we believe, right? Yeah. So if I believe I'm going to have a great day, my subconscious starts trying to find evidence. If I believe I'm going to have a horrible meeting, my subconscious starts to look for the reasons to go, yeah, see, I told you this meeting was going to suck, right? And so I think with the manifesting side of things, that's the first step. We write down the goals.
It's an ideal.
Repeatedly of the goal, if we remind ourselves of the affirmation, the whatever it is on a daily basis or a regular basis, that's where, to me, the manifestation starts to pick up steam, right? It starts getting momentum.
Yeah, it's the ideal. So the ideal is writing those goals down, because you're not going to put a goal down that's a shitty goal, right? No. So you're looking at an ideal, like, okay, this is what I really want. Then the next step is visualizing it. So what does it look like when I have it? At that point, the following step there is feeling what it feels like when you attain that goal. All of that, writing it down, visualizing it, and feeling the emotion, it doesn't take much to do that. And that's what we don't do. To your point about even writing down the goals and putting it in the drawer, we don't follow through with the other steps to actually make the manifestation, lower the risk that the manifestation happens to us in the speed that we want, right? And in goal setting, a lot of times we go monthly, quarterly, and yearly. I'm sitting with my sales reps, and I say, well, here's the quota for the year, but here's this other benchmark for an extra bonus. And if you get this bonus at any time in the year, you're going to get the bonus. And it's usually high, right? From the standpoint of if they really go for that, they're not even focused on the year's track record. They're focused on, oh my God, I want to try and get this bonus. They're going to align by visualizing it, feeling what it feels like. In this case, it's money, right? So a lot of us can relate to having money, what we would do with it. And then they understand, because they're trained, they're going to take those action steps towards it and go for those goals. And that's what you're saying about your habits. You're actually taking those actions in place every day. And you can actually forget about the visualization and the emotions. And actually, sometimes you can forget about the goals because you're involved in action.
Sure. And that's kind of what I meant, like, putting it in the drawer. I mean, I've seen salespeople, for years that set their goal for a year and then they don't look at it again until June, and all of a sudden in June, they're like, oh my goodness, I'm way off, and there's no way to make that up. The analogy of, they say a rocket ship headed into orbit is adjusting 97% of the time. So it's, like this. Why? Because like the salesperson, if you wait till June, now your adjustments become like this. And it takes you longer to get where you're going. You may never get there. You may run out of gas before.
Yeah. I'm in my examples of manifesting, in my recent modern life, I'm an example of that. I could write down my goals, put them in a drawer, and I have confidence that I know what they are and that I'm going to attain them, and I don't look at them again.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that.
And for us that we practice in this manifestation practice, we know how to decide what it is. We know how to visualize it. We know how to access the emotions. We know what action steps to take towards it. And then we let go of it, right? So your original question posed, like, can you put it in a drawer? So the answer is yes and no. How skilled are you in the act of deciding what you want, visualizing it, feeling your emotions, understanding what actions that you need to take, and then letting it go?
So
you and I are a little bit more attuned to it, where I could write those goals down and I have confidence, put them in a drawer, and that they're going to get attained. Okay. So I don't have to keep checking into it.
So just to add a different perspective on that, you and I can do that, put it in a drawer, because we're purposefully putting it in the drawer.
Absolutely. Yes. That lowers our risk.
If I write down goals and I leave them on my desk and they get piled up and things get stacked on them, same kind of thing, right? It could be putting it in the drawer, letting it get, if you do whatever it is purposefully and they're there, it's one thing. If you write them down and then they kind of get lost in the shuffle, that's different. So it's just, I think that's part of the equation is being purposeful about once you set them, now what am I going to do, right? That's the action. But that action can be the visualization, the emotionalization of it as well, and the reminder of it, right? Because we can't, for me, at least anyway, I need a reminder to remember to go back to it, whether it's daily, whether it's weekly, whether it's monthly, just, like setting goals financially, setting goals for physical fitness, setting goals for, meditation, whatever it is. If we visit it regularly, it tends to sometimes slip away, depending on who you are.
Yeah, that's very clear. I'm with you. I have an intention. I'm going to decide it, visualize it, feel the emotions, take the action steps, and then I'm going to let it go. So in this case, we want to thank everybody for listening. Again, just to review how to get in the space to manifest. First, decide what you want, then visualize it, then feel the emotions on when you have it. What's that going to feel like? You know what action steps to take towards that if you've already decided what it is. If you need to, write down those action steps and follow through with those, and trust in your actions that it'll follow back. So the fifth one is the hardest, is letting go of the outcome and trusting that what will come to you is exactly what you need at that moment based on your intention and what you want to manifest. So thanks, everybody.
Well said. Thanks. See you soon.
Thanks for listening, and remember, your outside world is an inside job. See you next time.
Hey, can we get 2 more over here? Make them doubles.